Hello again, and thank you for joining me for this short, sweet in session. This is perfect if you've been seated at your desk the entire day. We are gonna release tension from the lower back, from our hips, from quads, upper back. So I hope this feels delicious for you. Find a seated position first, something that feels comfortable for you. Cross-legged, maybe use a pillow if you want to come higher up. You can also sit on your shins, let the hips sink to your to your heels. And just find a connection with your body, letting your hands touch your thighs or your knees, belly and heart. It's also nice. And close your eyes down. Let them be heavy. And we'll take together just a couple of moments to leave the day aside. Let your breath just flow in and out of you without you doing anything to change it. Just start and observe your physical body. Just see where your hips, your feet, or your sit bones touch the surface you are on. Observe how your spine sits upright and relaxed. Maybe rolling back your shoulders a couple of times. Sorry, that was my cat. Releasing tension, maybe from your neck, from your jaw, from your face muscles. And if at any point you feel that you need to sigh out, you need to let the out breath just flow through your mouth, you can do that. And before we start our short session together, take 5 rounds of breath in and out through your nose with a longer exhalation. So you can count the in breath to 4 or 5, whatever feels good for you. And then out breath 5 or 6 in your own time. Inhale gently through your nose. Let the air pass through your nostrils, your throat. Let it expand your rib cage, your belly. Let it expand your entire body. And then out breath through your nose. Watch how the air slowly, gently leaves your body. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Maybe imagining how the inhalation brings some relaxation, and how the exhalation just expands that feeling. One more big breath in. Take it all in, let it infuse your entire body. And complete out breath. You can keep your eyes closed. Our first yoga pose together will be a sphinx. So if you know where you want to go, you're welcome to go there. Otherwise, come all the way down. So belly to the mat, bend your arms, and have your elbows under your shoulders or a little wider apart. See where you want to have your feet here. I like to just have my toes curled in, lift my knees, and then let the knees fall back down. Inhale here and exhale. Just see how your lower back feels. Letting your shoulders be relaxed. If you experience any lower back issues, you can play a little with the position of your feet. You can have them wider apart. It usually takes off a little bit of the intensity from your lower back. And maybe you've been here before, maybe you know that this is too intense for you. If you have a pillow, you can place it behind your elbows and let your chest and your belly come closer to it. This can feel nice. If you know that you want more intensity here, you can actually use the same holster, all your yoga blocks, and place your forearms on them. So use your discernment, see where you want to be for the next minutes. You should feel, of course, a stretch, compression, some sensations in the lower back, in the front of your body, so belly, upper back, chest. You can always play with the position of your head. If you feel that your neck is a little tense, use a block here and just let your head be heavy, chin comes closer to your chest. So many options. Choose what's right for your body this evening. In yoga, we are looking for minimal muscle engagement. So we're looking to work with the deeper tissues, with the ligaments, the joints, the fascia. So see what you can relax here. Of course, there will be muscles that you need to use to stay up here. But see if you can release maybe tension from your feet, from your legs, maybe from the glutes, from the shoulders. Maybe from around your eyes. Observe if you're clenching your jaw. Just see how you can melt here. Keeping a steady breath. Keeping your attention on the flow of air that comes in and out of you, inflating your rib cage, front body, back body, maybe even the sides. Observe where your mind tends to go when you come to stillness. Just observe the thread of thoughts that come up, maybe memories, maybe plans. Observe if you're jumping from future to past, and use your breath to come here in this moment. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling gently. The last out breath can always be through your mouth. Slowly prepare your exit from the pose, and maybe you can find a way that is softer today. Maybe come all the way down to your mat. Maybe having one cheek to the ground or the other. Maybe you want to come to child's pose. I'll just spend a little more moments here. See how you need to get out of this pose. Take a couple of breaths just to come back to you, to your center. I don't want to hurry you. And when you are ready, next pose will be child's pose. I suggest that you try this one with your knees together, but of course, if you feel that you want to have them further apart, you can do so. Use something under your hips if you need, under your knees. Otherwise, you can just gently fold forward, using maybe your hands under your forehead or any other kind of support that you need. You can have your arms maybe stretched in front of you, keeping the shoulders and a little relaxed, same with the elbows, or you can have your arms maybe closer to your body. We'll be here for about 4 minutes, so choose an option that works for you, that allows you to breathe, to keep that steady, focused flow of air coming in and out of you. Maybe this time observing how your belly gets a nice massage, how you round your lower back. And observe if and where you can let go and relax. Maybe let go of some tension, relaxing your muscles as much as you can. Following your breath. You can always come back to that longer out breath. It's one of the quickest way in which we get into that rest and digest mode, in which we speak to our nervous system that it's safe, it's cool down time. It also helps keeping the attention focused. You can count your breath. And maybe observing some of the small sensations here. I know that for many of you this is a well-known pose. Just take a couple of moments and see how your fingers touch the mat. If there is anything that you feel, maybe around the air that moves around you, maybe someone that is there with you, maybe your pet, a partner, family member. See where your forehead touches your hands or maybe the mat. Observe how the clothes feel right now. Is it warm? Is it cooler where you are? See what see what is there. Maybe even observing some of the smaller things that you don't usually see. And of course, you can bring the same aware inside and ask yourself, what is there that I can listen to, that I can see or feel? Take 3 more rounds of breath. And gently come up, taking 1 round of breath, maybe stretching your legs if this was too much for your knees, or do any counter pose that you need. I think I'm gonna be here. Feels nice for me. What you do, what you need. In a moment, we're gonna find our way back to the mat. So exactly like the first pose. So come all the way down. And this time, you can bend your legs and maybe stay here, because we are adding not just compression for our lower back, but also a stretch for the quads. So see if you want to be here. You can also reach for your ankles if you want, and drag your heels like closer to your hips. Have the forehead on your mat. I'm gonna keep it here so you hear me speak. If this does not feel at all comfortable, you can also reach just for one leg. And I'll say when half of the time has passed, so you can go to the next one. But as I said, you don't need to reach for your legs. You can also do this pose near a wall. So you can have your knees near the wall and just have your like shins on the wall. That can also feel nice. So see which position feels best in your body right now, without any acute pain rising in your lower back. For me, this is enough. I don't need to reach for my ankles. And as you did before, you can play with the position of your legs here. Knees wider apart will always release tension from your lower back. So if you're like me, that would probably feel good. Keep your forehead on your mat so you can relax your neck. We're gonna be here for a couple of more minutes. And I'll say when you can reach for the other foot if you just started with one. This is a great pose if you've been seated at your desk all day long. As I said, it brings a mild compression to your lower back. It stretches your quads, your hip flexors. If you're reaching for your ankles, you also get an opening in the front body, so it's really nice. Relaxing shoulders and face muscles. I know you're probably bored. I've said this 1,000 times before, but it's so easy to contract these muscles without being aware of it. And coming back to your breath, coming back to that awareness of finding the small things around you, inside you, and listening what comes up. You can reach for the other foot if you started with one. Half of the time has already gone, and maybe it felt really breezy, maybe it felt like forever. Take 5 more rounds of breath here, relaxing even more if that's accessible. And when you're ready, you can slowly release your legs. It could feel nice just to wag them from side to side, or you can find some release when you extend them, just letting your hips go side to side. If you want to come on your back, you can do that as well. And we'll come to our next and final pose together, which is a caterpillar. So it's like a seated forward bend. Use something under your hips if you know that you usually like to do that. Bend your knees if that feels good. Maybe placing something here under your knees. I just might do that. Letting your legs be relaxed. So they don't need to be straight, they don't need to have a certain look to them. And when you feel ready on your out breath, just fold forward. You can round your back, you can let your shoulders be heavy, letting and lowering your belly closer to your thighs. Maybe you observe that the feet just go to the outside or the inside. If you want to release even more tension from your neck, you can always place a pillow or a yoga block under your forehead. And here we are looking for a stretch for the back side of our bodies, so hamstrings, lower back, upper back. Find that sustainable edge where your breath is flowing freely, where you can be for the next couple of minutes without experiencing any sort of acute pain. See where you want to have your hands, your arms. See where you can release and soften. See which parts hold tension. And send your breath there to help release it. And as time passes, maybe your upper body becomes heavier, comes closer to your thighs. Try not to drag your hands, try not to push. Try just to be here, observing every breath, every sensation, every thought that comes up. Observing and releasing. We have about 2 more minutes of being here, so if your body is inviting you to go deeper, to explore some new sensations, you can do that. If you feel that you've gone too far and you need to take a step back, you do so. You can slowly prepare yourself to come out of the pose. Maybe letting your hands be heavy, just drag them on the mat. You can give yourself a massage here, so let your hands gently come to your thighs, maybe your knees, your shins, hamstrings. Couple of windshield wipers if that feels nice for you. And come back to a seated, maybe cross-legged position, finding that connection with your body again in whichever way that feels good right now. Keeping your eyes closed or close them down. And taking 5 rounds of breath exactly as you did in the beginning. Just observing once again the flow of air, the flow of thoughts, anything that maybe came up. Just observe how it feels to take a break from a busy day, start of the week, whenever you're practicing. I feel that in is just like hitting the pause button on my life, and it doesn't mean that I'm running away, it just means that I press the button, I take my time, and then I come back. I really hope that it feels the same for you, that you created this time, this space just for you to be, without an agenda, without a plan or a to-do list. Take one more big inhale, out breath through the mouth, and release the day, the week, anything else that no longer serves you. Open your eyes. Big thank you for joining me, for sharing your practice with me.